Hi, I'm Susan Stone, and I'm going to show you how to trace your meridians with a great deal of detail. So hang on, let's have some fun. The first thing we're going to begin with is we always begin with central meridian. Central meridian begins in the perineum, and it goes straight up the center line. And where does it end? At the lower lip. Governing begins underneath the tailbone. So we start underneath the tailbone, we go straight up the spine, we come up over the top of the head, and this meets central inside the roof of the mouth, but we're going to end it at the top of the lip. So I'm going to start with spleen meridian because most people trace their meridians beginning in the day. So spleen meridian is most active between 9 and 11 a.m. Spleen meridian begins on the medial aspect of the big toe. So we're going to come up over the bone. And now as we trace up the inner part of the leg, we're going to be on the flesh, but we're going to be right up against the tibia. Now, as it gets to the epicondyle of the tibia, it's going to go a little bit lateral. It's going to go over the top of the thigh, and then it's going to come up inside the hip bones. Now, it's going to hit the rib cage. When you do get to the rib cage, you jog out. So now you're in line with in front of your shoulder, and you're going to end here. And then you're going to drop down along this edge of your rib cage, and we're going to finish here. That is spleen. Now, spleen joins to heart, and heart begins at the innermost portion of your armpit. And you're going to go over and down the inside of your forearm. And this is a landing point right here, the crease of the forearm. Go down the inside, across the palm, and now we're on the inside aspect of the baby finger, and it ends here. And let's just do that again on the other side. Begin in the innermost part of the armpit and go straight down. Remember, your landing point is the crease right here, and then you're going to landmark to the wrist, over the palm, and then off of the baby finger. Now, when we're doing yang meridians of the arm, we want to assume this position because this gives us straight lines. So now we're going to do what I call the karate chop line. And you're going to go up, well, you can see almost like the junction of this red and white skin. And then we're going to go over to the funny bone point, which is small intestine 8. Now, put your arm by your side and draw straight up the back of your arm until you hit the crease. Stop there. The next point is going to be underneath the bone. Now drop down onto the scapula, and then jump up onto the ridge. You're on like a mesa here. And now bring it in medially. And now there are 2 points that are right beside the spine. And now we're going to head over to behind the jawbone at the corner right here. And now we're going to jump over the jaw underneath the cheekbone, and we're going to end at the flap of the ear, small intestine 19. Let's just do that on the other side. And small intestine is most active between 1 and 3 p.m. So now we're going to go up the karate chop line, hit the funny bone point, drop your arm, go up the back of the arm, and now underneath the bone, down to the scapula, up onto the top of the ledge, medially. Now go closer to the spine, and then underneath the jawbone, underneath the cheekbone, and end at the end of your ear. So next meridian is going to be bladder, and bladder is between 3 and 5 p.m. in the afternoon. So bladder begins at the innermost corner of your eye. It goes over the top of your head, and now your fingers should be about 1 inch apart. And then go and underneath the occiput. When you're underneath your occiput, you're on lateral to the origin of the trapezius, the upper trapezius. Now you're going to go straight down. Now I can't reach, but you do this innermost bladder line, and this is half the distance between your spine and the medial border of your scapulus, and drop straight down. And then you're going to go right down to the level of the hiatus of your sacrum, which is the junction between your tailbone and your sacrum. And now we're going to do a V on the sacrum. We've got points here. Right here is a V, and then curve underneath your buttock. There's a point right here. Now there's an inner line, there's an inner little tributary begins back up at bladder 10, and now we're going to do the outer bladder line. The outer bladder line runs at the distance of the width of your scapula. So the medial border of your scapula is your landmark. And then connect to the point underneath your buttock. Now we're going to go straight down the backs of our thigh, and we're going to hit 2 points on the back of the knee. Drop down underneath your calf muscle, go a little bit towards the front, and then you're going to go behind the ankle bone and off of the knife edge of your foot off the baby toe. Now I'm going to turn around because now we have to do kidney, and kidney is between 5 and 7. So now we hit a point called bubbling spring at the base of the ball of the foot. We're going to come over behind the ankle. We're going to go back at the heel. We're going to circle a little bit here. And now we're going to go very close, right next up against your Achilles tendon. And you're going to come straight up underneath your knee between those 2 tendons right here. Now stay on that line and go straight up the inner seam. And then when you hit your pubic bone, your fingers need to be about 1 inch apart, because central and kidney are so close together. But when you hit the rib cage, you're going to jog out and you're going to go straight up to kidney 27 right here. Now, kidney connects in with circulation 6, aka pericardium, and this meridian begins at the edge of the nipple. So we're going to go off the middle finger. So here we go. Now, you want to be on the medial aspect of your bicep. So right along your bicep, right beside your bicep tendon, go straight down between the 2 tendons on the forearm and go off of the middle finger. Start at the edge of your breast, and you're going to go over the shoulder. And remember, you're right up against your bicep and right next to the bicep tendon. Go between the 2 tendons on the forearm and go right off the middle of your palm and off your middle finger. Now we're ready for our favorite, which is triple warmer. And triple warmer is going to be active between 9 and 11 p.m. So we begin at the corner of the 4th finger. We're going to go through between the 2 bones on the back of the hand. Now we're going to be between the bones too, the radius and the ulnar on your forearm. So be right between the bones, right between the bones, right between the bones until you can't go any farther, and then hit right above the elbow in this little hollow right here. Now the next point we're going to land is going to be posterior to the origin of the deltoid. So right here, you can feel the right there. And now we're going to go up on top of the shoulder, but we're going to be behind gallbladder 21. So we're going to be back here. And now we're going to begin to aim towards the earlobe. So towards the earlobe we go, and we hit a point underneath the earlobe. We draw the circumference of our ear on our skull and come forward to the flap, and then we go to the end of the eyebrow. And let's do that again on the other side. Let's do the 4th finger across the top of the hand between the bones of the baby finger and the ring finger. Go between the radius and ulnar, and now aim straight back behind the elbow. Now we're going to go up the back of the arm, but not back so far as we're on small intestine, but we're aiming for the posterior aspect of the origin of the deltoid. Now come up onto the top of the shoulder, and now we're going to aim towards the flap of the ear. So earlobe, go to the earlobe. Draw the circumference of your ear on your scalp, come forward to the flap of the ear, and finish at the end of your eyebrow, and you have traced triple warmer meridian. So let's drop down to gallbladder, and gallbladder is most active between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. Begins at the corner of the eye. It goes over again to the flap of the ear. Now it's going to come up into the hairline, and it's going to drop down. Now we're going to make 3 arcs. Here we go. We're going to go, I'm going to show you from this position. We're going to go back to the mastoid process. We're going to go forward above that last arc to the forehead, and we're going to go above that last arc just a smidgen, and we're going to come underneath the occiput, and this point is gallbladder 20. And it's just lateral to our bladder meridian. Now we're going to go to the top of the shoulders. Okay, skiers, we have a slalom course in order here. We're going to go back to the sides of the breast. We're going to drop down to our gallbladder alarm point, gallbladder 24. We're going to go back underneath the 12th rib for the kidney alarm point, gallbladder 25. We're going to come forward at the waist, inside the hip bones. We're going to go back to the hip, which we oftentimes call one of our other circumflex alarm points. And now, get ready, because now we do a straight shoot. And we're going to go all the way down the side seams of our pants, underneath the head of the fibula, forward at the ankle right here. And then we're going to go off the lateral aspect of our fourth toe. Let's pick up liver. Jump over to your big toe, the lateral corner of your big toe. Go through the web, and liver's 1 to 3 a.m. Now we're going to go, look at this. We're going to come in here, right here. There's liver. Now we're going to go up the bone. So go right up your tibia, go up your tibia. But as you get close to the knee, we have to go medial. And so we're going to come up the inside of our thigh, through the groin, and now we're going to hit our spleen alarm point underneath the 11th rib, and this is liver 13, and then we're going to finish it off with our liver alarm point at liver 14 right here, right underneath the nipple. Okay, let's pick up lung. Lung is active between 3 and 5 a.m. We're going to come up here into this first intercostal space up in here, and we're going to go over the shoulder. Now this time you can see I'm on the lateral aspect of my bicep, and we're going to land right here, and then we're going to go straight down the forearm, and we're going to go off the thumb. Let's do that on the other side. Right here at the corner of your shoulder, lung 1 and lung 2, we're going to go over the shoulder, and we're going to come on the lateral side of your bicep. We're going to go over down the forearm and off the thumb. Now, yang arm position, large intestine. We're going to do a straight shot, going all the way up through the web, straight shot to the crease. And large intestine is most active between 3 to 5. No, that was lung. Sorry, 5 to 7 a.m. I had it right the first time. And then we go up in front of the attachment of the deltoid. And then we go up in between, that little groove between the scapula and the clavicle. Now we're going to go towards the sternocleidomastoid muscle, and we're going to go over the sternocleidomastoid, jump over the jawbone, underneath the nostril, and we're going to finish at the edge of the nose. Let's do the other side. Okay, so here we go, 5 to 7 a.m., large intestine. Go straight till you hit the point right here. Next landmark is here. Next landmark is up on top, and now let's hit that sternocleidomastoid muscle and come up over the jaw, underneath the nostril, and end right here at the nasolabial groove. Ready? Now we're going to do stomach. Stomach begins right underneath your pupil. It goes straight down the corners of your mouth. It hits the jawbone. It goes up the edge of the face. It goes up into the hairline. Now the next point is on either side of your Adam's apple, but we're going to just draw back down over what we just traced, and we're going to go here. Now go down to your clavicle. Now travel on top of your clavicle, so now that you're lined up with your nipples, go straight down over the nipples, and when you hit the base of the rib cage, stop. Go in, line up with your pubic bone, the edges of your pubic bone, and go down until you hit the superior lateral border of your pubic bone. Jog out. Now, we're going to, next landmark is going to be the lateral eye of the knee. And this is a little dimple right here. Now go down off of the tibia and the muscle, the tibialis, and go off the lateral aspect of your second toe. And let's finish up one more round up spleen. And go up the inside of your calf, but you're on the flesh. When you hit here, jog up so you're closer You want to be closer to stomach because that's spleen's husband. We're going to go through the hip bones, and then when we hit the rib cage, we jog out a smidgen and go up to the second intercostal space and then drop down along the midline. And there we have it. And let's finish with central and governing, and have a great day.